am I too hypervigilant with my kids? Whenever I go out of the house, basically, I just have like a slew of worst case scenarios running through my mind at all times. And am I right to do that? Is that just like the day and age that we're living in? Or do I need to do some things to make myself just stop and, I guess, live more in the moment than trying to go through all these different scenarios?
You've been running scenarios your whole life. When did that start?
I don't know really. Probably my whole life, like you said.
What did you need to do? What did you need to stay safe from as a kid?
I don't remember a whole lot of my childhood.
Yep.
I mean, but it wasn't like terrible.
That's what people say when things were super great.
I know I listened to the show a lot, and I just heard myself saying that I've heard 50 other people say before.
It just comes out like, oh, I need to defend everybody. What did you need to stay safe from as a kid?
Honestly, nothing bad. I spent a lot of time with like elderly relatives as a young kid, and probably just like a defense mechanism of my parents not really being like 100% there all the time, but
Where were they?
Working.
So did you spend a lot of time with aunts and uncles and grandparents?
Yeah.
Were those good times?
Yes, as far as I can remember, everything was good.
Okay. Where were your parents working?
My mom works in like real estate. My dad's a teacher, but like a CTE teacher. So he did like a lot of extracurricular stuff outside of like regular school hours. So he worked pretty long days also.
Gotcha. How was college?
Didn't go to college. Well, I did like couple of years of community college pretty off and on, but just started having babies at 22.
Okay.
And just been a stay-at-home mom ever since.
How's your marriage?
It's great.
It's good.
I love my husband.
So what do you want to protect your kids from? What are you scared of?
Just like if I have to go to the park.
Hold on one second. I want you to really say it.
What am I trying? The world, I guess.
I know, but there's some.
I have a very recurring.
There you go. What are the specifics? Because you don't say it out loud ever because you're afraid people can think you're crazy or they're going to take your kids away, and so you just keep burying it, and the loop gets louder and louder and louder. Just say it. What are some things you're scared of? The pictures you have in your head. Them
getting kidnapped. Okay. It's like my number one fear that keeps coming up over and over again.
That you're going to be at a park with them, somebody's going to grab them and take off.
Yeah. And since I have 3, like how am I going to chase somebody if they grab one of my kids when I have 2 other ones that I need to keep track of?
What else?
The other one that like really, that was like kind of the catalyst for me writing in the question is we went to Yosemite for the day and went for a hike, and I like couldn't even look around because I was so glued to them. Because there were so many people there, obviously, and then there was the fear of them like falling off of the side of the cliff. And then we got to this one point of the trail where it's like a really rushing river with a bridge, and there's railing, but it's not like a super sturdy railing. And I couldn't breathe because I was picturing one of them falling off of the edge.
And this is one of those things that's both very true. It's right. If you got 3 little knuckleheaded kids, you should be worried about one of them flying off the edge. That's a real fear. But I'm guessing you wouldn't be calling me if your body didn't respond as though every minute of that walk, one of your kids had fallen off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like I felt like it already happened, not that it was going to happen.
Right. And so if you back out a little bit, we could dig through. Can I run through a few things and we're going to do real quick, play a 30-second anxiety roulette game?
Okay.
What's the state of your finances in your marriage?
Marriage good, finances we are very close to getting on top of, but in the past haven't always been great.
Okay, what's your housing situation?
We own our home, about to move pretty soon.
Where to?
Buy a new home. Pretty close by, like one town over.
Where are you moving?
House is too small. We're upgrading.
Okay, what about friends? Who do you
Friends
who do you hang out with?
I have a really good group of mom friends that I just recently started hanging out with, and they've helped me get out of my shell. And
Okay, hold on. That's not a really good group of mom friends. I've just started spending some time with some women that I'm practicing trusting.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How recent? 2 weeks or 2 years?
Probably around a year.
Okay. All right. What's your sex and intimacy life like? High level.
Good.
Good. Okay. What's the status of your health?
Trying to get better.
What's that mean?
I've had kidney issues in the past, and like that kind of keeps me on edge, like thinking that I could be in the hospital any minute with another kidney infection. But trying to drink more water, exercise more. That honestly could be another factor with the anxiety thing of my kids getting hurt, because I have a brittle bones disease and broke a lot of bones as a kid.
I'm laughing with you. Remember a minute ago when I said, tell me about your childhood?
Uh-huh.
You're like, no, it's great, except my bones would always break. I just don't have any memories.
About it because my parents never made me feel like that was something that limited me. Like
it doesn't matter. Your bones were breaking.
Yeah.
Dude, you could give your kid, like, you can do anything except my legs explode. Right?
Yeah.
What's the nature of brittle bone disease? What's the actual diagnostic?
It's called osteogenesis imperfecta.
Yes.
I have the least severe type.
Oh, good. So you're going to minimize that too.
Puberty.
Oh, cool. I only mostly have a...
I mean, compared to the people who have the most severe.
All right, good.
I definitely.
Good. Wait, yeah. Awesome. Here's all I want you to do. Okay, I'm going to send you a copy of Building a Non-Anxious Life, my book. Okay, I want you and your husband to follow the map in the book. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just guessing, and only because I can't tell you how many people with anxiety I've sat with over the years. Countless, myself included. I'm going to make up something that may or may not have any validity to it, but I want to just give you an example of what I'm looking at, okay? If you're a little bitty kid who knows, hey, if a wrong step and my ankle just breaks, or me swinging a baseball bat and my elbow may just break, right? Or my shoulder socket may just break. It's the least severe, I know, but it just happens. And mom and dad are gone all the time. And I'm looking at my elderly relatives that are amazing. They're great. They're caring. But there's a little kid saying, where's my mom and dad? Where's my mom and dad? Where's my mom and dad? At any moment, my arm's going to break. That is a recipe for a kid with a pretty finely tuned nervous system and a pretty cautious next step. You had to have that next step because you were in charge of you at a very young age.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't
mean anyone was bad. It doesn't mean anybody didn't love you, yada, yada. But that meant you were very unaware. My daughter has a peanut allergy. And I didn't find this out until at the very end of her first grade year that they made her sit at a table all by herself. I could not believe it. But she has a very finely tuned, if I eat the wrong thing, I'm dead. And there's an anxiousness that's just wound into that, right? That's real. That's just a reality that you lived with, that she lives with, okay? And then you get married, and then finances are tough, and then you start having babies, and then your kidneys, and then your body, and then there's this, and then I'm just going to be on Instagram because I don't have a lot of people. I got 3 young kids. My husband's at work. I'm here by myself, and. Because here's what I promise. If you hired 2 full-time security guards just to watch your kids, that spinning loop inside your head would just move to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
What if the fires get up to Fresno? We're going to get covered up in fires. And then your husband would get fire insurance and take the neighbors' houses and like raise them to the ground and then put up a fire break, and then it would move to the next thing. And then it would move to the next thing. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And my guess is this has happened most of your life. Maybe not. But generally, this doesn't come out of a vacuum. And the questions I want you to do is this. I want you to back all the way out. Yes, it's right to be nervous that your kids are going to fall off a high, like whatever, at Yosemite, of course. It's not normal that you put some boundaries in for your kids, you take the right precautions, and then you can look up and be awe-inspired, full of wonder too. Both things can be true. And right now it feels impossible because your body's just sounding every alarm it has all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound, tell me if I'm out to lunch or if you're like, oh God, you're hitting it right on the head.
Hitting it right on the head.
Okay. You have to listen to this promise I'm going to make you. If you will head directly into these alarms, and by the way, you cannot go by yourself. You got to get a counselor. You got to get a couple of girlfriends that will walk with you. I have peace on the other side of this that I did not know was possible. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you something crazy. You know what I do at night? I just lay down and fall asleep. Can you imagine that?
How is that possible?
Right? Exactly.
You mean you don't worry that someone's going to break in through your kid's window?
I can't even read a book. I read 3 pages now. I just fall asleep. I'm out. Now, I still have OCD. I still go check the lock 7 times. But then when I go in my room, I fall asleep and I'm kaput. Comically kaput. I can't get my kids away from my presence because I'm not an anxious nuclear reactor anymore. I have just a peace that's about me. But the only way is going straight into those alarms. Now, when I still have a fear of heights, it's a hilarious thing. I'm not scared of fighting. I'm not scared of guns. I'm scared of heights, and I don't know why. But when I'm with my son and we're walking somewhere really high, like if we're hiking on a ridge or we're doing something, and I'll say, hey, I need you to take care of your old man on this one. And he'll laugh, and he'll fake like he's going to fall off, and then he walks really carefully with me. And I tell him, I need you to do this because it makes me, right? I am outsourcing this to you for a second. Please don't walk by that railing. But it's a funny thing now. It's not life or death. And I've been life or death. I get it, man. It's like being betrayed by your own body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Ugh. You're not crazy. Can I tell you that?
Thank you.
And I promise there's peace on the other end of this. Hang on the line. I'm going to send you Building a Non-Anxious Life. It's my best-selling book. I want you to read it. I'll even send you a link to the audiobook. I know your mom with 3 little kids. If you just want to put it in your headphones and go for a walk around the neighborhood, then you can do that. And there's questions at the end of every chapter that I want you and your husband to go through together. And it's just laying everything out. What is my body trying to solve for right now? And it might be health and healing. It might be my body is constantly worried about my bones, so I need to make sure I go to the doctor on a regular basis. We can't afford that. Okay, we got to get our finances. All that, you just follow the map there. Okay? But your anxiousness is right. And is there such thing as too hypervigilant? 1,000,000% yes. Is there a chance kids get kidnapped? Yep. Is it nearly the prevalence that's in the media? Not even in the same universe. Do I let my kids play out in the yard? And my son's 15. He rides the bike all over Nashville. Do I get nervous? Yeah, of course. Is he 15? Yes, he's just go do his thing. Do I let my daughter go 2 miles away by herself? No. Do I let my daughter run around outside with some friends? Absolutely. Yes, I do. I do. We're solving for peace here.